Of course it is. Why? We're that much closer to the launch of Sarah Palin TV. 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Very, very exciting. When is this? Is it launched yet? What's happening?
Yes, it has launched.
Oh, well, I missed it then.
Yeah.
Gee, I was going to be there for the big debut. Okay, we'll talk about that and much more as we continue. A big Tuesday show, Charlie Pierce at Esquire.com. Michael Tomaski of the Daily Beast.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes. And also big marriage equality ruling in Virginia, where interracial marriage was obviously that's why I'm hoping that's the one. That's the one that goes to the Supreme Court with my close personal friend and fellow makeout artist Teddles.
Yes. I have been reading some analysis, though,
Yes.
that says that particular case is the least likely one to be upheld by the Supreme Court.
And another dream, guys. Okay.
It's just the way, the cases are structured.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the one that's least likely.
All right. I just like that Scalia got trolled again.
Yes, he did.
Okay. All right. By the way, hang on. Just reading. Oh, Matt, Steph, thought you'd enjoy this photo I took in Greece from famous Rolando's restaurant there, and he's wearing his Stephanie Miller T-shirt.
Wow.
There you go. Very nice, handsome, romantic. Step swag. Check it out.
Hello, Greece.
Yeah, because I was looking at the story, Chris. I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong here at Stephanie Miller International Incorporated, but the Sarah Palin TV channel, modeled on the Glenn Beck digital channel and website, who boasts 300,000 subscribers who pay $10 a month, generating around $36 million in annual revenue, even before commercial time is sold.
That's right. Wow. We take our commercials out when you buy the StephCast.
Yes, we may need to do a little bit reorganizing here at Stephanie Miller Incorporated and Sons International. Seriously. By the way, guess who's running Sarah Palin TV? A couple of those lamestream media
The lamestream
executives.
media, yeah.
Yes, sirree. Mm-hmm. She's so full of it. She's such a big, fat grifter.
Yep.
And by fat, I don't mean fat, actual fat.
Because she is shapely.
Who helped set up her new online TV channel? Two former bosses from CNN and NBC.
Yeah.
The kinds of networks she, of course, professes to despise.
Yeah.
Except, of course, when it comes to grifting, which she is mostly good at.
Yeah.
Jonathan Klein, former president of CNN, and Jeff Gaspin, president of NBC Universal. Just the sort of lamestream media elites, don't you know?
Haven't you met Jonathan Klein?
No.
No. Okay.
He was, just one of the many people that passed on giving me a TV show. That's not
Okay.
important now. Anyway.
So he saw something in Sarah Palin he didn't see in you?
Who got me to be on free for months and months and months with the hope that I... Okay,
oh, boy.
Not important now. That's how they get you to do it.
Uh-huh.
You get a free car ride. Well, you want to come do this for free every day? Can I get milk bones? Sure. Yeah.
He's got free false eyelashes.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
Okay.
The Sarah Palin channel went up last night at 9 p.m., Klein said. Here's the fun facts. This is because you want to know all the details of this, because you're like, how do I have more access to that soothing voice like 24/7? And those ideas, guys and gals. I sent it to my sisters, everybody that I know yesterday, to see that clip, the drunk clip from Denver.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I said, dear God, what do you think Dad would think of what's happened to his party now? Just anybody? Bueller? They have installed cameras throughout the Palin house in Wasilla. Everywhere.
So you get to see Bristol doing it?
Well, we speculated that yesterday, that like when she was not aware, they were putting a turkey head first into a
wood chipper
behind her when she was talking, remember?
Yeah.
Bristol will probably be doing it behind her. She'll be like, what?
Bristol likes to do it.
Clearly that's how it happened the first time. Somebody not paying attention, too busy grifting. I don't have the information that she was actually grifting at the time Bristol was underage and
but it's
pregnant.
entirely
I'm just
possible.
saying it's possible her mind was focused elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so there are cameras throughout the house in Wasilla. Sarah can flip a switch anytime she has something to say.
Oh my God.
Because right, it's for those of you that feel like she's been a little too, shy, a little too circumspect, a little too that she's for the people that Sarah Palin is not wordy enough for. This channel's for you.
Although, however,
the people need please more word salad.
We do know now that she likes to drink.
Really?
And well, because of that video.
Now I'm in. Yeah.
So,
imagine if they put cameras in here 24/7 in the whole house.
Maybe like someone leaving a drunk message on an answering machine or voicemail, she'll flip the switch in her house and start rambling about nonsense.
I wonder, if there's like a drunk filter on the switches so that she needs, right? You know how
there's not.
What's that thing called? Before you email someone, you have to do a complicated math problem before you can
Gmail has that.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that's on the switches to make
something else to say. Fag.
Oh my God! I need to subscribe to this.
Right, and then like the
and
first
watch
day
it
she
2 in
starts
the
going
morning.
off like N-word on the president.
What? Son! Why did you turn the switch on?
I need to subscribe and watch at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, imagine if there's you know what? I'm just thinking Steffi TV. People pay some bucks. I'm not saying, not saying I'm worth $9.95 a month, but I'm just saying, you can see me 24/7.
It might be worth 25 cents.
I'm just saying, after a certain time in the afternoon, things get really interesting around here.
Believe me, I know this.
Okay,
and so does my friend Jeff.
That is the most... You mean making out with random friends of Chris's.
Random gay friends of mine.
Right,
yeah.
Half naked gay friends. Okay, can I just say that, like, as Madeline Albright was saying yesterday, the world really is aflame. Michael Tomasky writes about it today. We'll talk to him later.
Yeah.
It really is. But that is the most terrifying sentence that I've read. I know Middle East, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Ukraine, World War III. I know they're massing troops. They're giving, whatever. Sarah can flip a switch anytime she has something to say. Okay. By the way, Rocky Mountain Mike said he first heard about this on her Twitter feed. Will she quit this, do you think, a couple days
It's
in?
entirely possible.
Someone's going to flip the switch at the wrong time.
And then that CNN guy is going to be out a lot of money.
Right. And they're building out the channel from their production hub in L.A. Ooh, I bet you there's got to be a job for me in there. I am right here in L.A. I have some things to say about the things that Sarah Palin says.
Sure.
Okay. Perhaps they don't care for my thoughts. After that, I think I said that on Ed. I don't remember. It was whatever, because they always call me, like Sarah Palin said, blank, can you come? And I'm like, and I think one day I just had too much. I just said she's the stupidest bitch that's ever lived. Her voice makes me want to pour hot coffee in my...
Did you say that to Ed Schultz?
I was like, what? Too much for TV? Tone it down? Oh, too late. Okay.
Did you get notes afterwards? Network notes?
Some notes. No, my network notes are always...
You're fired.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Too hard on Carly Fiorina? All right, well, you weren't paying me anyway.
You're fired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, State of the Nation hasn't called you back, have they?
No.
Yeah, great. Or State of the Union or whatever they call
Sound
it.
of me waiting for TV bookers to call in the afternoon. That would be an interesting thing on Steffi TV, right?
Sure.
Cobwebs, seasons change, pages on my paper calendar.
Let it please be him. Oh, dear God, it must be him.
You can't say on TV? All right, well, all right. Check this out.
What?
The former chief technology officer of the satirical news site The Onion is leading Sarah Palin's channel's web design team in San Francisco. How many layers of lamestream media elite is that?
The Onion?
Well, or maybe the whole thing is a joke. Maybe it's just a piece for The Onion that someone wants to give Sarah Palin a TV channel.
Pretty elaborate for The Onion.
Switch anytime she has something to say.
God.
Is her switch as a country we can just flip off anytime she has something to say? Is there like a Sarah Palin blocker or something?
I hope so.
Maybe we could sell one of those on Steffi TV. Sarah Barbie blocker. Just anytime that voice starts, you just Guys
and gals.
Hey then. All right. Bristol, the aforementioned Bristol. I always.
The unloved mother.
They always refer to as sexual abstinence advocate.
But
'Cause
she
in the sense that she got knocked up when she was a teenager, so that was
and wasn't married.
politically sort of awkward, and so now she's right.
Okay. While holding her baby.
Right.
She advocates for abstinence while holding her
Right,
baby.
right,
Okay, gotcha.
Right. Well, right, because she's okay. Bristol already has your already established blog on the site. She's part of it's a family industry. Piper, you remember Piper? She was the one. Remember when her mom got the big colored bus and like had reporters follow them around the country? Remember that?
Oh, and
Sarah
she
Pack
mouth
bus?
off to
The Sarah Pack bus, and she like was teasing reporters that she was going to run for president, so they followed the bus.
Yeah.
And so Piper, who was, I don't know what she was, 11, something, 12, whatever. She like put her head on the bus and she goes, "Thanks for ruining our vacation!" to the reporters. See, because her mom's the one that used her
on
as
a bus
campaign
that
prop.
other people have
Right.
paid for.
Right, and her mom took her as a prop so that, you know, she could like gin up interest in some fake
Because she's a
presidential
grifter.
run.
She's a grifter.
Just saying, mommy issues, anyone? All right. Save up a little of this Sarah TV cash for therapy is all I'm saying. Just I speak from experience. Okay. Okay, so Piper has begun to record her own video commentary.
Piper?
Yes.
What the
Meanwhile,
hell does she have to
wait.
say?
No, wait, there's
Sorry,
more.
almost-
No, wait, there's
almost
there's
dropped an
more.
F-bomb.
Oh, no, wait, there's more. Sarah's mother, Scrabble aficionado Sally Heath. Really, people? I could get my mom to give bridge tips. She steals money from old ladies like weekly. She's my 91-year-old Republican mom. She's better than Scrabble aficionado Sally Heath. You got nothing on my mother, Sally.
You could be such a grifter, too.
Right? She will be providing us with a word of the day, according to John Klein. And for the privilege of this, you will pay $9. Seriously, you know what? You talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to be redoing my business plan during the show today. My mom could come up with a word of the day. Okay. Actually, 2. She normally comes up with 2 every day. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I haven't actually talked to her since
Or, I'm very disappointed.
I haven't talked to her since I was on CNN because when I called her to tell her I was going to be on, she's like, "Oh, Carly Fiorina. Oh, she's very impressive." So I can only imagine that she was watching going, "Oh, dear. She's being so rude to Carly."
She's working blue.
That's what would be great. We could have my mom on doing commentary on what I just said and how it sucked. The next segment will be therapy. I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. John Klein also said she's obviously a very outspoken personality.
It says yes.
And who has a lot to say and whose supporters feel underserved.
Underserved?
There are carbon-based life that think Sarah Palin has not said enough words at this time. They feel underserved, Chris. That's a niche, as they call it in the business. Niche.
Okay.
They feel they don't get enough of Sarah.
Oh my God.
So that's who this is for. The people who cannot get enough of Sarah Palin. Good luck to you. Okay.
Someone on Twitter suggested that we should feed you full of Ambien and then turn on the cameras and see what kind of things you say.
All right.
That would be awesome.
All right, 19 minutes after the hour. I just had to get all that out of my craw. Now we will have my craw is free for the rest of the show. 20 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. 24 minutes after the hour. This hour of the Stephanie Miller Show brought to you by Carbonite, the goal for every small business. Of course, to keep it growing, that's what's just as important. Keep it running smoothly, right? Keep all your stuff that's in your computers, your contracts, your invoices, your contact lists. Do it with Carbonite Online Backup. Everyone's doing it, kids.
They are.
Carbonite Cloud Backup is the best. It provides powerful yet simple backup solutions to keep all of your data protected. Everything's backed up automatically to the cloud whenever you're connected to the internet. You do not have to do anything, no matter how many computers your business has, where they're located. Guess what? File recovery, just a few clicks and everything is back. It's inevitable, the power outage, the virus, whatever it is. We just had our website hacked.
Yeah, we did.
With their encryption technology, Carbonite makes your security a top priority. All of this at the best value. People cannot believe it. Carbonite has impactful backup plans that make the most of any budget. We have Carbonite. Do it. Get it now. Carbonite.com. Type in my offer code Stephanie for a free trial. No credit card required. Plus 2 free bonus months with your subscription. That's Carbonite.com. And the offer code is Stephanie. All right, 25 minutes after the hour, Matt Breen from The Advocate at the top of the hour to talk about the Virginia marriage equality ruling. It's a big deal because it opens the door in a bunch of other states.
That's right.
We had my boyfriend, honorary lesbian Ted Olson, on last week.
He did.
We will have David Boies on very soon. He's out of the country right now, but he promised me in person.
He did.
Coming on the
With a
big show.
kiss.
Mm-hmm. No, that was that was
I thought you kissed boys, too.
No, well, not with the same kind of tongue.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, Matt and Reno.
And you used to kiss boys. Get it?
Yeah. Matt and Reno, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Hey, I need some guidance on the Sarah Palin channel question, and so of course I'm going to go to a celebrity board.
Right.
But I'm really conflicted because I really want to subscribe because I'm sure the comedy gold nuggets are going to be like the size of, really dumb boulders.
Right. Well, we can feed those to you in bite-sized bits, so you don't have to pay for it.
Well, 100 clams a year is a pittance to pay for that kind of comedy. But my conflict is that going to make me kind of complicit in her crimes against, nature and society and grammar and syntax?
Yes, it will make you complicit in the assault on grammar.
Oh, darn it.
All right. Think it through. Think it through. Think it through, people. Mark in Atlanta, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Don't judge me.
All right.
But the only way I could see Sarah Palin's show having any redeeming qualities is if there was no sound and she was topless. Other than that, she has nothing to contribute. Every time I see her and hear her talk, I zone out, and my only thought is,
oh, dear.
Take off your top.
Oh,
Take
dear.
off your top.
Take off your top. Okay. All right, Mark. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
The Stephanie Miller Show does not think that.
No, I don't. Listen, I'm gay and I don't think that. I don't want to see any of it. I want to hear it. That was the male perspective. We like to offer both sides here on the Stephanie Miller Show. Turn the sound down and take off your top. Okay.
That's our listeners.
It's mama's people. How about this? Why isn't somebody at Stephanie Miller International on this? A wine glass app.
What? I thought you were going to tell us to take off our top.
Listen, it's not a bad idea. There's a new mobile app called Wineglass.
Okay.
And it can read and explain almost any wine list in any language. The users get a description of each variety, along with a rating and a suggested price point. Right? Couldn't we do like a wine goggles app? Something like beer goggles?
Sure.
Makes people more tolerable. Okay. Thank you. Who knows how many the guys are watching going, turn the sound down, take your top off. All right. Maybe I'm no different than Sarah Palin.
Hey, I've gotten that email too.
All right. 34 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number. Toll free from anywhere. Sue in Rockville, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Sue.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Good morning.
And I'm so glad Travis is back safe and somewhat sound from Comic-Con.
Oh, smells like a bag of garbage.
Guys, you don't know.
God bless him.
It's important to know where to find the new Sarah Palin channel.
Mm.
It's called the Frontier Gibberish channel.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And,
Yes.
and her first guest is...
Little dope on the prairie? Is that the...
No, it's going to be, well, it's the Princess Dumbass of the Northwoods channel, but I think Frontier Gibberish, and her first guest is going to be Gabby Johnson.
Boy, oh
From
boy.
Blazing Saddles.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They speak the same language.
Yeah, we'll see if Charlie Pierce has dipped his toe into the Sarah Palin channel.
I'm just going to thank you because, as I just told Travis, I don't even have balls, but when I hear her voice, something comes comes up in my throat. It's tonsils, balls,
Right.
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, whatever's down there just recedes. Yeah. Oh, Sue, I had hoped
That's
never.
a noise I did not
I had
hear
hoped
this early.
you never hear you make the sound of your genitals receding from Sarah Palin's voice. But thank you for that, Sue.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay. That's the sound of Sue's cootie catcher. Okay. All right. By the way, did I mention in other news the world has gone insane? I love Madeline Albright. When she just goes, Faye, it's a mess.
I bet you she's thinking she's got shit enough to deal with this.
Yeah, I love this.
We all grew up in a very different era where we were focused on the threat from the Soviet Union, and that was the major activity, and it clearly was dangerous. But what has happened now is that we are seeing problems in a variety of places, but there have been really two huge game changers. And one is Putin's behavior vis-a-vis first Crimea and then now towards Ukraine. And the other is what is happening in the Middle East, a lot of it due to the Arab awakening and also the artificiality of the borders that were established after World War I. So there are an awful lot of things going on that need understanding and explanation, but to put it mildly, the world is a mess.
See? She said. I'm telling you, that's why it's the perfect time for the sound of Mei Li's mother's disgust. It describes everything that's happening in the world, whether it is the Middle East, whether it is the Ukraine, whether it is Sarah Palin's TV channel. It is just, she speaks for all of us. I'm sorry? What was that again?
We need to get Mei Li's mother in here.
Would that be? I don't think May would allow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I asked her, I said, does she listen? She's like, no. She has no idea what May does on Fridays. Don't tell her. I had to be considerably more polite on the Oxygen Network while I was making suet bird feeders.
Yes.
Oh, is that girl from what has happened to her? Oh, she already, May already said she would say that about me wearing a baseball cap.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, she would.
You're not going to get a doctor wearing those hats.
No, I probably will not marry a Korean doctor. She is correct. One can never know. All right. Yes, the world has gone insane.
Yep.
Netanyahu, did you see that? Warned Monday the country faced a prolonged campaign against Hamas in the Gaza Strip as the military urged residents in parts of the embattled territory to evacuate ahead of what appeared to be a broadening. Isn't that good? A broadening of the three. Not a scaling down, would be a broadening. The Israeli military spokesman said what's coming will be worse.
Yeah.
The international community so far been unable to bring about a ceasefire that would end the fighting.
And there's been shelling of Gaza City all night long, and apparently 100 Palestinians lost their lives overnight.
Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday.
We knew that we would have difficult days. This is a difficult and painful day. Stamina and determination are required in order to continue in the struggle against a murderous terrorist group that aspires to destroy us. I said, and I repeat, we must be prepared for a protracted campaign.
And then the other thing now is there's been sniping with over John Kerry. Obama administration's officials were fuming Monday over a torrent of Israeli criticism of Secretary of State John Kerry's bid to secure a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in unusually harsh language. Officials said the criticism of Kerry could put the relationship between the U.S. and Israel in jeopardy. They also said the personal attacks on Kerry crossed a line and were particularly disappointing in a time of active conflict. Israeli media commentators have leveled almost nonstop criticism at Kerry in recent days over his attempts to bring Qatar and Turkey, two countries viewed by Israel as strong Hamas supporters, into the ceasefire negotiations. Kerry was also accused of abandoning some of Israel's key demands during the negotiations. He did seem to debunk the notion the U.S. had backed away from its support for demilitarization of Gaza, which had been a top priority for Israel. He said any process to resolve the crisis in Gaza in a lasting and meaningful way must lead to the disarmament of Hamas and all terrorist groups. I don't know, I'm back to being with you, Chris. Just on the whole,
Just fight it out yourself.
I just am like, oh.
Because
and that's the thing is you go. I get it that you're like, oh well, these people. I mean, even on a talk show here, if you say something too much this way or that way, it's like that Jon Stewart bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, bringing in other countries that are considered more of honest brokers by the other side might be one way to try to get this solved. At this point, you go, I don't know, you figure it out then.
Exactly.
If you think John Kerry's not doing it right, then what? I mean, you can't bring in all just the pro-Israeli side because then you're not going to make any progress that way either.
We're trying to help. We're getting yelled at for trying to help.
Yeah.
So it just makes us want to withdraw and just screw y'all.
Susan Rice, National Security Advisor.
We know these misleading reports in turn raise concerns here at home in America. The reality is that John Kerry, on behalf of the United States, has been working every step of the way with Israel in support of our shared interests.
I've said that. I'm tired of making the same arguments, but, we're always going to be a friend to Israel. Part of the point I've said for years is part of being a friend is saying stop building the settlements. Part of being a friend is trying to be an honest broker, and if you have no credibility with the other side, you can't be a broker.
Exactly.
So I just... I forget what the word is, but I'll ask Megan. There's a word that goes after the...
Kimchi. It's not kimchi. Something like that.
Here's, I suppose, a sliver of good news in the next World War III news. The White House, U.S. President Obama and European leaders in a show of solidarity agreed on Monday to impose a wider set of sanctions against Russia's financial, defense, and energy sectors in the wake of the shoot-down of the passenger jet over the Ukraine. The coordinated measures come as the U.S. warned of a Russian troop buildup along the border with eastern Ukraine, the shipment of new sophisticated weapons to the separatists. The new sanctions, which Obama and the leaders of Germany, Britain, France, and Italy discussed in a rare five-way conference call by video and phone, aimed at increasing pressure on Vladimir Putin. Why do I bring that up?
Why?
Because I'm certainly hope that they used GoToMeeting and typed Stephanie in the box.
I'm sure they did.
When resolving that little...
The State Department is lousy with typing Stephanie in the box.
Exactly. And the Stephanie Miller Show thanks you. John in L.A., you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, John.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
What frustrates me about all of this, the goings-on in the world, is we spend all day criticizing Sarah Palin, and we talk about...
Oh, no, we don't spend all day, just the first segment.
Yeah. Whatever. But
whatever. That's kind of a...
How John Kerry is feckless in his...
He's feckless? Oh, good word.
Brutal over there. I was reading just this morning, but...
It's been brutal over there for 45 years now.
I know.
Yeah, through Republican and Democratic presidents.
He's feckless because Israeli commentators say so?
That's the difference between then and now. At least we were talking about the president. Our president just seems like he's so checked out and so missing in action. What's his position on
Right, because no president has ever sent their Secretary of State to the Middle East to try to work things through.
No president has spent so much time fundraising while the country burned.
Right, no. You're absolutely right. This is the first president that has ever fundraised. Oh, actually, Bush fundraised while the country literally burned.
Yeah, and Bush fundraised off of 9/11.
Off of 9/11, and
yes. Do you guys know anybody who went to his $32,000 fundraiser in L.A.?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. No.
I mean,
do you know anyone that was at the fundraiser when George Bush was cutting John McCain's birthday cake while Hurricane Katrina happened and New Orleans was drowning?
Well, September 12th, George Bush was standing on the rubble and Barack Obama was standing...
No, actually, he was still flying away from the danger, and then they sold that picture for fundraising later, the picture of George Bush
flying away
from the... All right, you're an ass bite.
And he's wrong on every account.
See, that's when they pay those callers. That's what they do. They say, just don't shut up.
Yeah.
Just keep talking nonstop.
Yeah.
So if you call to have a conversation,
right.
I'm happy to have a conversation.
Right.
If you're just going to talk over me,
right.
then screw yous.
You can't say that President Obama is the first president to fundraise.
No, he's the first president that has ever gotten his Secretary of State involved in matters of state around the world and diplomacy and whatever. It's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, Madeleine Albright never went over.
Right.
Yeah, it was always Bill Clinton.
Every other presidential campaign has been Kickstarter. This is the first president that has ever fundraised.
Yeah. But, George W. Bush never sent Colin Powell over. Ever.
No. That's not what Secretary of States do.
No.
Okay, let's go to... Hi. Charles in Miami. Hello, Charles.
Hi, good morning, Steph.
Hi.
I can't remember. I hope you guys remember that I called in like almost 2 weeks ago, and I mentioned that Netanyahu reminds me of a John McCain.
Right.
And basically, it just...
Except that John McCain's a little to the right of him on Israel, but other than that, yes.
Yes, exactly. But that goes to my point that conservatives, it doesn't matter where they are. They all have the same stripes. They basically want to rule the world by force.
Yeah.
So basically, if they can put doubt in the American people's mind about John Kerry, that's their mission. But I'm glad to say that I'm so proud that we have a Obama and a Kerry that's helping lead this nation. Now, where will we be?
Yeah.
It'd actually be worse.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, feckless.
Feckless.
Trademark, right-wing noise machine. Okay.
Shut up and take off your top.
Okay. All right. 46 minutes after the hour. Why not? Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. All right, let's say. Rock emails me. This is all that needs to be said now about the Middle East. He said, the conflict is really silly. It's about dirt. In the end, it's about dirt. Sincerely, Rocky. They're fighting over dirt. You know what they need?
No.
People want leadership, Mr. President. In the absence of genuine leadership, they'll listen to anyone who steps up to the microphone.
Sand.
They want leadership. They're so thirsty for it, they'll crawl through the desert toward a mirage, and when they discover there's no water, they'll drink the sand.
People don't drink the sand because they're thirsty. They drink the sand because they don't know the difference.
Yep. It's about sand and dirt. By the way, someone was encouraging me on Twitter that you'll probably hate. It's like, I love that movie, American President. Oh, sorry, I meant to say, yay, encouraging Mama.
Great.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No sand.
That was like new for them. They were like, American President, great movie. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're obsessed.
I am. All right. Wow, this is something. When the Congress got something done. Sort of.
They're hoping to have it on the president's desk by Friday.
Oh, wow.
Because Congress goes on a 5-week break after Friday.
As I mentioned yesterday, I think the only time you can get Republicans to do anything, it's to benefit, I guess, is it Cuban fetuses who have served in the military?
Sure.
And now they're, okay, well, all right.
It looked like the Republicans weren't even going to benefit anyone who served in the military for a while there.
Right. Anyway, no, this is the, which used to be a bipartisan, just like an American thing.
Yeah.
Honoring those who have served when most of us haven't. Mm-hmm. So this whole VA crisis.
And it sounds like they're going to open up the VA to include Medicare doctors as well, if the veterans so choose.
Right. Obviously, our friend Bernie Sanders, one of the leading the charge for this, Senator Sanders, yesterday.
Planes and tanks and guns are a cost of war. So is taking care of the men and women who use those weapons and who fight our battles.
Yeah, especially when I can't remember now which story we just did about the billions spent on some weapon or plane that, and not just the F-22. It's another one. I mean, the amount of money, as Bernie was just saying. Senator Sanders was talking about that we've spent on weapons that we'll never use.
Exactly.
Instead of, the people that are, that choose to serve. Senator Sanders again.
This bill contains language which will allow the Secretary to fire people immediately who are underperforming or lying.
I think this is a good bill. It's a good compromise between right and left.
Well, remember? That's how America used to work? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Senator Sanders, one more time.
We hope that with more doctors and nurses and space coming in, the VA system itself will be able to accommodate more veterans in a timely manner.
That's something that used to happen all the time, and I hate to say it, but my dad in Goldwater's Day again, because it's right. Oh, by the way, on Free Speech TV, I guess they said they can't see that; it's too high.
Yeah.
So yesterday, after we played the Sarah Palin drunk in Denver speech,
nobody could see.
And I asked for Man with Two Brains. Daddy, just send me a sign, any kind of sign. If you think this Republican Party has gone off track in some way. Right, and my dad's picture did actually spin. Okay.
Wish you could have seen it. It was awesome.
All right, I'll move it down later, Nathan. Don't worry. I'll move.
But then you'll block that awesome plug.
My stripper pole. Right. Okay. All right. Representative Jeff Miller, Republican of Florida, who is working with Senator Sanders.
The veterans need quick response, and this is the way that we need to be able to make sure that veterans are not standing in line.
Right. There you go. There he is
The
again.
VA is not sacred. The veteran is. And that's the most important thing for all of us to remember.
That is a really good point.
I was just going to say, well said, and that was a Republican.
Yep.
There you go. Every now and again, I'll say that. Representative Jeff Miller, one more time.
I don't believe that there will be a flight of all of the veterans out of the system, but we don't know until we start this program.
That's a possibility because you're opening up to Medicare doctors as well, but I think a lot of veterans are comfortable inside the VA system. And if the VA system gets more money and is able to hire more doctors and nurses and get more space.
And now I'm going to start going all Tom Broke on everyone's ass, but I'm just saying these are guys my dad in World War II, and there was more of a shared American purpose. There was more of just they fought about a lot of stuff. They didn't fight about stuff like this. They didn't fight about how to take care of the veterans. Like, that's a partisan issue like everything else. You know why? This reminded me of this piece in the Huffington Post. Want to know why Republicans can't give up calling Obama not American? Because they've got nothing else. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is what this extends to. You may have read earlier this week, Representative Steve King, the stunning Steve King of Iowa, brought back one of his party's golden oldies. You know, the one about how President Obama is, for some reason or another, just not a real American. At an anti-immigration rally in Council Bluffs, Iowa, he said Obama's vision of America isn't like our vision of America. That we know. Oh, really? Now, I don't assert where he was born. Oh, I see.
Oh, God.
So he's a burglar.
Really?
I will just tell you that we all are certain he was not raised with an American experience. Trademark Steve King. So these things that beat in our hearts when we hear the national anthem and when we say the Pledge of Allegiance doesn't beat the same for him.
Oh,
Really, Steve King. And this goes back, this piece on HuffPost goes back to all of the times, and this is not just the fringe. This is Mitt Romney in 2011 said, I don't think President Obama understands America. He said this president, his course is extraordinarily foreign. Remember that? John Sununu, his top surrogate, said, I wish this president would learn how to be an American. Newt Gingrich condemned, at the same primary, remember, condemned Barack Obama's Kenyan worldview. Rick Santorum said Obama is detached from the American experience. He just doesn't identify with the average American because of his own background, Indonesia and Hawaii, which, by the way, is
American.
Is America.
It's very American.
Santorum accused the president of having engaged in absolutely un-American activities. Oh, wow. There you are in McCarthy territory there. Mike Huckabee said, most of us grew up going to Boy Scout meetings, and, our communities were filled with Rotary clubs, not madrasas. Oh, wow. He's referring to that false report on Fox News that the president, okay. Huckabee was then asked whether he believed there may be some fundamental anti-Americanism in this president. He answered, that's exactly the point I make in my book. And anyway, the point of the piece is just because they got nothing else.
Exactly.
It says they can't, they've got nothing else. They can't sell their right-wing policies as actually working. There's no data to back that up. They can't even sell their policies as logical because they're not. So they make people afraid of them, whether it's the president or the refugees on the border. 58 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. You have to boss to me. It's not like you're some sort of air traffic controller or something.
Well,
and I'm like a Delta pilot. You can't tell me what to do, when to start.
Okay, that story is awesome.
I hate airlines. Okay, I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm trying to fly somewhere this week. It's impossible. Anyway, the Delta Airlines story is awesome.
We'll get to that.
You love it when your pilot is like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
You're bossing me, stupid air traffic controller. Can't tell me whatever is in their plane coming in on this runway. Okay, so we'll get to all that in just a minute. Chris, who said of the marriage equality decision in the Virginia case, today's decision recognizes that marriage is one of the most fundamental rights, if not the most fundamental right of all Americans. Who said that?
Clarence Thomas.
No, that was a bad guess. That would be David Boies, who will join us as soon as he gets back. When we had his partner, not law partner in the case. Ted Olson on last week. Anyway, very, very, very. It's actually because there's been so many great decisions in terms of marriage equality. It's hard to understand which are the most important. This is big. This is big, people. And we love talking to Matt Breen of The Advocate.
Editor-in-Chief of The Advocate.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
He's so fancy. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt.
Well, explain to us, first of all, this is the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit ruled Monday Virginia's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. It upheld a previous decision issued earlier this year by a Virginia district court, which struck down the state's ban on gay marriage. Explain why this one is a big one, Matt.
Well, the Fourth Circuit, as you mentioned, it was where this decision was upheld from a lower court ruling. And that found that the ban is unconstitutional based on the due process and equal protection clauses of the 14th Amendment. This was two couples that wanted to get married in Virginia and two other couples that were married elsewhere and wanted their, marriage protected in Virginia. But the big deal is the fact that the states in the 4th District are Virginia, whose Governor Terry McAuliffe and Attorney General Mark Herring decided they did not want to defend the marriage ban, which is 2006 voter ban. Maryland, which already has same-sex marriage. West Virginia, which kind of the Attorney General said we don't want to comment on this decision right now. North Carolina, whose Attorney General has decided that would be a waste of time and money to continue to defend their same-sex marriage ban.
Yep, Roy Cooper, that's a big deal. My mom's home state, North Carolina, as the Attorney General said, his office will no longer defend the state's voter-approved ban on same-sex marriage. So it paves the way, basically, right, Matt, for West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina to strike down their bans as well.
Right. South Carolina said it's going to continue to defend its ban. But in every case brought post-Windsor, the decision has been that the ban is unconstitutional. So you've got this this raft of cases that have all said that at every level that it's unconstitutional. So either this one, or probably more likely the Utah case or the Oklahoma case of the 10th Circuit, will go to the Supreme Court, and that's the really big significant thing about this.
Utah being your home state.
Utah being my home state, and the first one that found that the ban was unconstitutional based on the Windsor decision, which was, of course, incredibly shocking to me and to everybody in Utah and to the couples who brought the case. And, it was a really nice, delightful surprise.
Matt, it's interesting. I was saying that I just got to go to a book party for Ted Olson and David Boies. I mean, obviously, the challenge to Prop 8 was the first lawsuit, right, in which a federal court of appeals ruled in favor of marriage equality. I mean, I guess I was also saying because of Virginia being obviously where the Loving decision that legalized interracial marriage happened. I was sort of hoping that would be the one that would go to the Supreme Court. But Chris was saying, what do you think is going to happen? He was saying that there are other cases that look more likely to.
Well, who knows the minds of the Supreme Court justices and how they pick these cases. They might be, I don't know how more narrowly they could slice a decision at this point. They decided that DOMA was unconstitutional, but they did not rule on same-sex marriage in general, whether there was a right to same-sex marriage. So a better legal mind than mine, which is admittedly not that great, would be more poised to decide what the tendency of the Supreme Court is in how they select these cases. Who can say? Roberts is looking at a long legacy. And Scalia and Alito are looking to just go meow, as they make their decisions. So who knows?
Here, I was saying earlier, Matt, one of my favorite things is how many judges now have trolled Scalia basically in the marriage. So the Federal Appeals Court based in Virginia cited the words of conservative Supreme Court Justice Scalia when it struck down the state's ban on same-sex marriage. In the ruling, the court embraced the language, as many judges have, right, of a dissent Scalia authored that struck down state sodomy laws. I mean, this is so hilarious, right? It's such a judicial punt, in my opinion.
I love it. I mean, he essentially said, our decision makes way for same-sex marriage, and everybody else in these lower courts has said, yep, you're right, bring it on. So,
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, explain to people in more in lay terms what that means, because the way he phrased it, he made it seem like this would be a horrible thing, and all these judges have cited this as the reason, right?
Right. And I don't have the exact language in front of me, but he just sort of had this doom and gloom vision of the United States where people can get married if they want to.
That was his version of doom and gloom.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and a bunch of the lower court decisions, the circuit court and the appeals court's decisions below that have said, it doesn't sound like such a bad idea to us. Besides, we deserve equal protection under the law based on the Constitution. Therefore, your doom and gloom vision of the future of the United States doesn't sound so horrible to us. And we're going to make sure that people have the rights that they should have constitutionally.
Well, I mean, I love that. So a significant number now of federal judges, Idaho, Utah, Ohio, Virginia, Kentucky, Texas, Oklahoma, and Michigan have cited his dissent in last year's DOMA ruling when they struck down their bans. In fact, the 10th Circuit in Denver, right, also cited Scalia's dissent.
They did. And a lot of these judges, I want to do a count. I have not done a count yet, but how many of these judges were Republican appointees? One of the ones in the Fourth Circuit in the Virginia case was a Bush appointee. So we're not really talking about a classic liberal-conservative divide. in terms of how these rulings are coming down. You know, a lot of Republican appointees are looking to the 14th Amendment, saying these bans are unconstitutional. So, you know, I think that's real progress as well. The idea that conservative appointees aren't necessarily looking at Scalia's position, saying that's a valid one.
Well, yeah, we had, as I was saying, Ted Olson on last week, and he's obviously a Republican, but I was saying, to me, that was one of the most compelling cases, his piece in Newsweek, the conservative case for gay marriage, or for marriage equality, excuse me. Because I think you're absolutely right. That's been the biggest leap, is that this is becoming not a partisan thing anymore, right?
It's becoming not a partisan thing, and we have the benefit of, 10 years of marriage equality in parts of this country. And, the brimstone has not been raining down from the skies. I think a lot of people are just sort of seeing marriage equality as a fact of life that doesn't really hurt anybody.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why it seems like some of these Republicans that are running for president seem even more out of step now, like Marco Rubio, last week. You kind of go, is that a forward-thinking position for 2016 to be against marriage equality? I mean,
it's not particularly, but the base that they're courting are not particularly forward-looking either.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying that I think one of the clearest cases is Liz Cheney in Wyoming. You go, guess what? People on both sides of the aisle understand being a jerk to your sister, right? I mean,
who does that play well with? Being a real jerk to your family?
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And do you really want the people that does play well with on your side? I suppose she does. I think it was
Matt,
real.
So do you think, in closing, that this is, when do you have like a rough idea when you feel like this is going to get to the Supreme Court? Doesn't it make it more likely that it will be soon or be this year?
I think my guess is that it will be sometime in 2015. I think you'll see another couple of cases come down. There has to be my guess is there has to be a preponderance of cases in places where there's a ban that overturn the ban before the Supreme Court says we have to address this. I don't think they're particularly eager to address it at all based on the decision in Windsor.
I think Scalia is not eager to be presented with his own dissent.
Right.
Do you think he'll actually say whatever?
Means?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. You have to wonder how he reacts privately to this, to him being cited.
He's just got to be a slow boil. Good Lord.
Yeah, he doesn't seem pleasant in the first place.
Yeah, I think sometime next year, and I think he's going to have steam coming out of his ears for the whole case.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Matt, well, we will check in with you all along the way, as we always do. Thanks so much. Editor-in-Chief, look at you, also fancy at advocate.com. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, this Delta pilot story is
awesome. Oh, my God.
17 minutes after the hour. Right back with that on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. You probably do with cat videos. Do you ever go down the wormhole of dog videos? I do. I did it yesterday on the interwebs. First of all, I was doing the schnauzer that passed out from excitement.
I saw that. That was
seeing
cute.
the girl he hadn't seen in like 2 years.
That was cute.
And then you go to all the troops greeting their dogs when they come home, and oh my God. And then it was the rest of the afternoon. Then it's babies laughing, dogs making babies laugh. Okay.
I still like Surprise Kitty.
Chicka chicka chicka. Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're easily amused.
Obviously.
Okay, because Fred was pretty excited to see me when he just ran in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. The dog videos gives me time off from what? My main job, which is hating the airlines. Okay. I'm trying to fly somewhere this week. Can I just say, because I read we were talking about this a while back, that they're making it harder and harder to use miles.
They are.
Which sucks. Because I'm just saying, like, if you have a credit card, that's where you get,
Right.
So you have a zillion miles, but you can't ever use them.
Nope.
Because they're like, oh, no, you can't, no.
Computer says no.
No, sorry, can I go there?
Computer says no.
No, can I use miles?
Computer says no.
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 I'm not saying
you can go to Akron in February.
Right, with 5 stops.
Yeah.
However, at any rate, my point, and I'm not going to say the specific airline, I'm just saying it's an American one. Okay, but the Delta pilot thing is awesome.
Uh-huh.
Who doesn't want their pilot to be like a teenage girl? Delta looking into snippy comments from pilot to air traffic control. This is the funniest thing since the movie Airplane.
Yeah.
The consumerist writes, no one really likes to be corrected, but when that correction is you're taking your plane to the wrong runway. You're going the wrong way. This is You're going the wrong way! then you should probably appreciate the criticism. That wasn't the case for one Delta pilot who didn't take kindly when an air traffic controller at the country's busiest airport tried to put him on the right runway. Yeah. So controlling, air traffic controllers. What's that about?
Sheesh.
The flight, Delta 2422, if you were on that one, from Atlanta to Charlotte, North Carolina, was slated to take off from the runway labeled Mike on Friday, but the air traffic controller contacted the pilot because he appeared to be taking his jet to Lima, which sounds like an entirely different runway to me.
Yeah.
The pilot said, hey, you know what? We'll taxi out there any way we want, unless you tell us to.
Really?
I don't like your attitude.
The pilot said that to the air traffic controller?
Yes. To which the controller answered, I don't have an attitude. I'm just saying it looks like you joined Lima instead of Mike, and I'm just trying to correct you before you stay on Lima. This apparently got the pilot even more upset.
Oh, no.
Tell me anyone that has a teenager doesn't recognize this. He said, Like, oh, my God, there's another plane out there, 6 miles away. Controllers probably love sarcasm best.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Your attitude is really something, sir. We're out here on Mike. Good morning. At this point, the controller reminds the pilot that it's a controller's job to, control the traffic, control air traffic. Good morning. That was no attitude, he told the Delta crew. I was just trying to correct you. That's my job to correct you if you mess up and make sure everyone's doing what I asked them to do for certain reasons.
Oh, no. The air traffic controller told the pilot that he messed up.
Yeah, one of the reasons. So you don't crash into another plane. Okay. Then the pilot said something he probably didn't want the world to hear on national news. He said, all right, I make a mistake every 2 to 3 minutes, but my attitude's not like yours. We're out on Mike, and you didn't tell us how to get there, so next time you can try doing that. The best part of the exchange is when a pilot from another plane chimes in to say, settle down, Captain Happy. Delta says it's looking into the exchange. It's checking into that.
Yeah, thanks.
But it says no passengers were ever in danger. What am I? You're not the boss of me. Oh, you are the boss of me? Well, whatever.
I'm going to use...
Oh, right. There's another plane 6 miles away. Whatever.
I'm going to use that Captain Happy line all day long.
I'm going to say that to you every time you get upset at me. Whatever.
Settle down, Captain Happy.
This reminded us of every scene from Airplane.
Yeah.
Yes, you remember there's no parking in the...
The red zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no stopping in the white zone.
No stopping.
No, the white zone is for loading and unloading, and there is no stopping in the red zone.
The red zone has always been for loading and unloading. There is never stopping in a white zone.
Don't tell me which zone is for stopping and which zone is for loading.
Listen, Betty, don't start off with your white zone.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yes. I forgot that there was a curse word in there.
Yes, that's right. Nice save, Captain.
Thank you. Nice save, Chevrier.
Don't steal my hockey reference.
Okay, sorry.
All right. I would say flying on any flight better than taking a vacation with Mitt Romney.
Oh.
Who would like a look inside the Romney family vacation this summer?
Oh, do we have to?
Mm-hmm. Would you like the fun facts on the former Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney and his wife Ann? And she is warm, if you'll recall. Stop it.
Stop it. This is hard. You want to try it? Get in the ring.
Yeah.
This is hard.
Yeah. That's her talking to all the kids in the back.
Yeah.
They recently took a few of their 22 grandchildren on a vacation through the American West. A trip documented by Romney in a blog post. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Mitt Romney narrates the whole thing. Wouldn't that be fun, kids? Okay. He's like a what's his name? Griswold.
Yeah, Clark Griswold.
He's except way more boring. He said, my mom and dad began the tradition of showing their grandchildren the majesty of our country and teaching them about the sacrifices and character of the pioneers. Doesn't that sound fun, kids?
I could totally see him driving a wagon queen family truckster.
Oh, my God. The kids in the back just, oh, God,
yeah.
Really? Stop talking. Romney said he and Ann hiked over 50 miles with 5 of their grandchildren ages 10 through 13, narrating all the way.
Oh, my God.
The Romneys taught their grandchildren about their ancestries and even faced some unexpected obstacles, including a very close encounter with a rattlesnake. Oh, my goodness. For Pete's sake, we can't have rattlesnakes. I'm running for president. That is... Oh, my God. I just am picturing the kids today with the video games, really. Or hours and hours and hours of Mitt Romney talking.
Oh, God.
About the majesty.
Whatever. Majesty of the West and pioneers. And
something.
Blah,
Right.
Blah, blah.
But exactly. All right, I will save that. When we come back, Richard Nixon was apparently obsessed with panda sex. And now there's something the kids would be interested in, historically speaking.
Is this something I want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dick Nixon, obsessed with panda. Yep.
Let's ask Charlie Pierce about that.
All right, I think we will. Thank you. Oh, settle down, Captain Happy. I knew he was next. 29 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. We're 34 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Who said the show's funny this morning?
Southern Jewish woman says the show's very funny this morning. Thanks, Captain Happy.
You're welcome. Captain Happy says you're welcome. Okay. Hey, speaking of fun, there's only one man now that understands, and that's the author of Idiot America. Pierce. Charlie Pierce, political columnist for Esquire.com.
Why is everybody always laughing with me?
Good morning, Charlie Pierce.
Anybody there still got the vines?
I got the vines.
That was the strangest. That may have been the strangest half hour of the Stephanie Miller Show ever.
I think you're right.
That's saying something, right?
I mean, if only because Fugelsang was there.
Yeah, about the woman that put a potato in her. Anyway, all right, let's move on, Charlie.
It kills yeast, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Okay, well, have we decided if this is a Snopes thing or not?
It is. We think it was, although they say it's
indeterminate.
Right.
Yeah.
So I choose to believe. All right. Charlie Pierce, let's first of all, let's
go them home fries.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Let's go to your breakdown of the Sunday shows because, dear God, as you know, John Fugelsang reported that Meet the Press will be hosted by a bowl of oatmeal. Because poor David Gregory, dear God, right? So he already is facing a lot of rumors, right, and low ratings. But you say he got himself in all kinds of trouble by sandbagging a UN official with a videotape allegedly showing a rocket being launched from a UN school against which Israel was forced to defend itself the other day. The thing was blurry and grainy. Anyway, but you said this was just about as horrible a piece of journalism as you can imagine, especially given the gravity of what was being discussed. He said, well, how am I possibly supposed to comment right on a live show about live video that I haven't seen, right?
Well, that was a remarkable thing to me, because the way it was set up, David Gregory said, we have this video here, and we don't know where it came from, and you can't see it, but would you please comment on it?
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Yeah. And it turned out later to be to not be accurate, correct?
Well, I have no idea what the final analysis of the thing was.
Yeah, I know.
But to ask a guy to comment on something he can't see and that you don't know the provenance of, that's amazing to me. That's something Maury Povich does with his DNA test.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, you sound as exhausted by this whole the Middle East thing as we do. I mean, and I don't know why. Somebody was saying, Charlie, on my Twitter feed, like, I'm 62. This has been breaking news my whole life, but for some reason it does feel worse now, right?
Oh, it does, because it appears that Israel is going to try to clean the place out. I mean, that's the way it looks right now. They're talking about a prolonged war. First of all, it's not a war. You're dealing with a battlefield that's essentially inside fences.
Yeah.
It's like one of those hunts that Dick Cheney goes on with they release the captive birds and then you shoot them.
Yeah.
It's like a hunting preserve. It's like the wartime equivalent of a hunting preserve.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and like I say, you hear like both, the same points on both sides over and over again until you can't help you throw your hands up because you just think, now they're blaming it all on John Kerry, I guess.
Well, I mean, you got to divorce what's happening on the ground from the domestic political use that's being put.
Yeah.
Which is basically in the run up to the midterms, so people are liable to say anything.
My favorite part is when you talk about Paul Ryan, the zombie-eyed Granny Starver from the state of Wisconsin, dropped by to tell us how much he really loves poor people. He has a whole new plan for the poors, I guess.
He does. Yeah, he's going to give them life coaches. Doesn't explain how he's going to pay for it, but...
By the way, I had the same reaction you did. Robert Reich was.
I don't know what's going on there.
He said he was intrigued by it, by the new old Paul Ryan plan.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not really block grants because no federal programs are being cut. Of course they're going to be cut because these are block grants.
Right.
Reich knows these are block grants. Everybody knows what happened to block grants in the 1980s. Ronald Reagan used them to get rid of programs he didn't like.
Yeah. And as you say,
send the money to the states, and the governor of the state uses it for whatever he wants to, basically. And the people who the block grants are supposed to help don't get helped, which is what was supposed to happen in the first place.
Well, as you say, it's an exercise in fakery, deceit, just as everyone of his quote-unquote budgets are. But here we go again with 2 point whatever, right? Of Paul Ryan's a serious, thoughtful.
Yeah, I'm not.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know why people keep falling for this con. I think it may be a deliberate national plot to make Paul Krugman crazy.
And I also caught Ruth Marcus explaining, as you say, the devil weed is on the march.
Oh, dear. I mean, that was
embarrassing. That was an embarrassing
She said,
discussion.
I think for states to decide to go for the full legalization was a problem precisely for my mommy reason.
Oh,
jeez.
Please don't use that word again.
Oh, my God.
What's that?
Please, the mommy problem. I mean, I go back with Ruth Marcus to the time that teenager in Kansas tweeted something uncomplimentary about Sam Brownback, and Ruth Marcus wrote a column in which she called the teenager a quote unquote potty mouth, which I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think I've heard anybody over the age of like 12 use ever in my life. But this was in the Washington Post.
I call Stephanie that when she accidentally drops an F-bomb on her own show.
Oh, settle down, Captain Happy.
First of all, Chris, it's never an accident.
That's right. I think you're right, Charlie.
A carefully crafted F air assault.
Yes.
As you in Rand Paul news, as you say, he dropped by the Urban League conference in Cincinnati.
He's down with the Ute, man.
Oh, right.
He really is. He's down with the urban Ute.
Boy,
I like the way he compared himself as a libertarian to being an actual minority.
As he continues to moonwalk away from the kindly Doc Matto interview about the Civil Rights Act, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in it now. I mean, heck, why not? It seems to be working, and I want to be president, so.
Yeah. You say this is precious. This is a guy who up until a year ago had a guy working for him whose secret identity was a neo-Confederate called the Southern Avenger. Yeah, so now we're supposed to believe, you say, the scales have fallen from his eyes altogether, and he is now where decent people were on this subject in 1966. I don't know, and yet it seems like he's the best they've got thus far, right?
Well, I'm not sleeping on the large governor of New Jersey. I think he's actually survived this, and I think he's back.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I honestly do. I think by 2016 he'll really be back. He's out there swiping pension money again, and beating up state workers, which is really his happy place. So yeah, I think he's back. I really do, and I think they're looking at him and they're wondering if Jeb runs. Well, then who knows? But I think this guy's back where he was. I really do.
Hey.
He's already ahead in Iowa.
Hey. But, I mean, I was going to say it is interesting how the mainstream media keeps talking about, oh, Hillary's had a tough week. She's still way out ahead of anybody, right, in any of these polls.
Oh, she's, I mean, I've never seen numbers like this, and I don't think it's the same thing as 2008, which a lot of people are saying.
Yeah.
Because, this is beyond that. There were, even if you didn't count Barack Obama, there were actual other contenders in 2008. She wasn't this far ahead of them.
Yeah.
So, I think that, obviously it's hers to lose. I think the year becomes incredibly interesting if she decides not to run.
Yeah, boy, I'll say.
But I think at the moment, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
By the way, speaking of Democratic candidates, you gave us a little peek into West Virginia's 2nd Congressional District. The Democrat's name is Nick Casey, and I think the implication is it's hard to tell them apart, the Democrats and Republicans in some of these states. Casey said of climate change, it's not our problem because it's an international issue.
I don't get the syllogism there. If it doesn't matter, whose CO2 emissions it is that causes the sea to rise in New Jersey. The sea's still going to rise in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sort of all of our responsibility.
Well, you see, Nick, if we fob this problem off on China instead of doing our part, and if we just do it so you can get elected to be a pain-in-the-ass Democrat like Joe Manchin, the problem gets worse. And it's not just West Virginians who suffer. Keep this up, and everybody on the seacoast up here is pricing sandbags. I know the Democratic tent is really big and all, but it doesn't do anyone any good if it floats away. But that is the problem in these red states,
exactly.
right? I mean,
you've got a state that's entirely owned by the coal industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the ridiculous fine that was dropped on Freedom Industry for poisoning most of the water in the state's capital city, and that doesn't seem to have had any change. Any change with anybody.
Yeah.
It's insane. Their water still smells like licorice.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like it's cleaned up or anything.
Right. And they're still supporting the coal industry.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's what's there for jobs. I mean, I get it. I understand. But at least, acknowledge the trade-off you're making. And try to hold somebody's feet to the fire.
Right.
But if everybody dies, there are not going to be any jobs.
Well, that's true. Well, there'll be lots of jobs. There just won't be anybody put in.
Well, there you go.
Mortuary science. Charlie, more importantly, have you tuned into the new Sarah Palin channel yet?
I have not. I can't find it on my cable package. And the fillings in my teeth are not. The reception is off. I have to set my fillings in my teeth into the shop.
It is explained that it is for the people that think Sarah Palin they can't hear enough from her. They feel underserved by her musings.
Does anybody actually think this project is going to get off the ground? I mean, it may get off the ground, but I mean, it'll be on the air for about 11 minutes.
It debuted at 9:00 last night.
Did anyone watch?
I have no idea. It's an online channel.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Yes, there's going to be cameras.
It's on my computer thingy.
Yes.
Right, it's on. There's going to be there's cameras in almost every room of her house, and she can just flip a switch whenever she wants when she has something to say.
Please tell me you said almost every room in her house for a reason. Because I don't want them to be cameras in every room of the house, because I really don't want to see.
You don't want to see the Tad action?
No.
And who was it? Willow was gonna, or someone was gonna.
Piper has
Piper.
Piper
will have
has
a show.
a blog. Piper, she'll do video commentary.
Yep.
Yeah. And her mom, who is a Scrabble enthusiast, will give us all a word of the day.
Oh, Sarah?
No, Sarah's mom.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Can word number one be numbskull?
Let's start with that one. All right. Charlie, great talking to you.
Next week.
See you next week. There he goes. All right. Oh, dear God. All right. I don't think I've heard the Sarah Palin drug speech in a little while. 46 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. 50 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. To join the party, we have Michael Tomasky of the Daily Beast coming up at the top of the hour.
Yay.
All right, Chris, who said... The question remains, why do Republicans come back over and over to this kind of thing, to a peddling of a cocktail of fear mixed with hate? They've got nothing else. They can't sell their right-wing policies as actually working because there's no data to back that up. They can't even sell their policies as illogical because, well, they aren't. Who said that?
Marty Feldman.
No. Really bad guess. Ian Riefowitz.
And he's with?
I don't know, Huffington Post. It was good. Okay, who said, so what can Republicans do? Get people afraid of them. The brown president and the brown hordes at the border. Who said that?
Cloris Leachman.
No, same guy in Huffington.
Okay.
Just about this whole theme we were talking about calling, they're tying in the president being un-American with the brown people. The brown people. Yeah. By which we mean 8-year-olds fleeing violence in their countries. Okay, and the hillbillies at the border that are yelling at them.
Sometimes the right can be so wrong. My own belief is that they're all ding-dongs. They're racist, they're in the Tea Party again.
Yeah.
Makes no difference what group they're in.
Don't let America cry!
And hillbilly people.
Who can't accept the brown one, for fleeing from the bad ones, for trying to just kill everyone, giving strokes to right-wing folks, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Ooh, sha-sha. We get to scream at children.
Awesome. Rocky Mountain Mike, by popular demand.
Yes.
We ripped up the Twitterverse yesterday. All right. Hey, back to simpler times when all our presidents had to worry about was panda sex. Richard Nixon, Dick Nixon, apparently obsessed with panda.
Panda sex.
Right.
Panda effing.
Right. He was apparently fascinated by the mating habits of panda bears. After his famous trip to China, shortly after his trip, China decided, I remember this, because I'm old, decided to gift a male and female panda to the National Zoo. Remember, China gave us pandas.
Weren't they ping and pong?
I think you're correct.
Or no, those were the pandas on the Brady Kids cartoon.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. That's
something entirely different.
He expressed concern. There's more tapes, really? He expressed some concerns about how they would learn to mate without the example of other pandas to observe. So there's whole tapes about that. They don't know how to do it unless they watch someone else.
Huh. All right. Might say the same thing about Dick Nixon.
He was a panda perv. Now he's really weird. Okay. Hey, yesterday we did. Who was the guy yesterday? Preacher that believes gays are possessed by fart demons.
Fart demons.
Yeah, that guy.
Yes, and kill pigs.
Okay. A Catholic priest believes a demon is texting him. To be one of your high-tech demons.
Not a fart demon, but like a texting demon.
Mm-hmm. According to a Catholic priest in, you could take your organ out for this if you like.
Right.
In Poland, a devil from the bowels of hell is blowing up his phone with texts. He said it happened after he performed an exorcism on a young teenage girl. Oh, one wonders if demons are still texting Bobby Jindal after he exorcised his college girlfriend's demons.
In this day and age, people are still performing exorcisms on people.
He said the demon somehow managed to retain his possession of the girl and is now harassing him with texts from hell.
Of course.
Practice that is apparently common among technophile demons, according to him. Clearly, this young girl has been possessed and needs further help. He said he revealed the contents of the text, because that'd be my next question. Do they use emoticons? Is there a lot of LOL?
There's a little devil icon.
Oh, there you go. But he uses that a lot. Hi, it's bing.
Yeah, exactly.
Me again. Bing.
Little fire icon,
Right, fire and the devil icon.
Yeah. From the fires of hell.
He said one of the text messages read, she will not come out of this hell, she's mine. Anyone who prays for her will die. Yikes.
A little overwrought.
He said, however, he had prayed for her and sent back another message. So he texted the demon back.
Engaging.
And how do you is it 666? Like, how would you know
reply. You just hit reply.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, the demon texted first.
Yeah. And so you just hit reply.
Okay. Because, you know what, if it's AT&T, you can't reach him in hell. You can't get service.
No,
you can't get service in the Hollywood Hills. There's no way.
Well, why is he engaging the demon? Just ignore it.
Just ignore the demon.
Hit block. Most phones have block now.
Think of him like a Delta air traffic controller. Just ignore.
Settle down, Captain Happy.
Okay, getting the message. Oh, so we got a message back from the demon. Shut up, preacher. You cannot save yourself, idiot. You pathetic old preacher. Nasty demon.
$10, it's the 13-year-old who lives 2 doors down. Seriously.
Mediaite concluding it is unclear whether the demon has sent the priest a shirtless selfie or worse, a pic. You know what? The devil would send
a wiener
pic.
Yes. A wiener pic.
Yes, the devil would do that. Because everybody's into the pic. Hey, and also, have you seen my... Just saying.
It might have been Anthony Weiner.
Here's me without a shirt. Okay, Brenda in Illinois, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Brenda. Hello, Brenda. Did I do that right? Did I do that? I guess
it looks like you did. Oh, she hung up. I heard that.
Ooh, speaking of creepy stories.
What?
It's not demon related as far as I know, but did you hear about the creepy doorstep dolls?
Yes, down in San Clemente. Yeah.
The mystery of the porcelain dolls being left on the doorsteps of several California families has been solved. Families in the San Clemente neighborhood began reporting somewhat creepy incidents. The investigators began pursuing a woman who goes to church. It's a church lady. It's not a demon, but it's a church lady.
All right.
Who goes to church with the families that received the dolls. The woman admitted to placing the porcelain dolls at the homes. Her motivation was out of goodwill. The statement said it was a kind gesture.
Oh, my. God.
Here's a porcelain doll that looks just like your daughter.
Your dead daughter.
You're welcome. Oh, she meant well. She's a church lady who thought that would be a nice gift. Okay. 58 minutes after the hour. The world has gone insane officially. You know why? Because Michael Tomasky says so.
That's right.
Of the Daily Beast. We'll talk to him next on the Stephanie Miller Show. Yes, it is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. 6 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEP-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Sexy liberal Carlos L. Rocky tomorrow. Coffee with Carlos. Very, very exciting.
And also Dino Badala tomorrow.
Another comedian extraordinaire.
Yes.
All right. In the meantime, we've been saying, we were just talking to Charlie Pierce about, when we talk about this stuff in the Middle East and yada yada, we're like, does it seem worse to you than usual?
A little bit.
Michael Tomasky says.
Yes.
And Michael Tomasky joins us now of the Daily Beast. Hello, Michael.
Hi, am I directly following Charlie Pierce?
No.
Followed James Brown? And...
No.
There's been a segment in between you and Charlie Pierce, so you're good.
Because normally I like my news happy clappy, but it's not so much with the happy clappy news in the world today. You say, is it just your piece is entitled? Is it just me, or is the world exploding? Yeah, I mean, it is the number of hot spots that it is in addition, right, to the seriousness of it.
It's the number of hot spots, and it's the just the quality of these conflicts that looks to be so much worse in the context in which they're happening. I mean, this Israeli-Gaza conflict. We've seen them. They pop. Right. They happen every 2-3 years, and but usually they don't last as long as this one has already lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And this one is, they've been telling us, Netanyahu's government, that this is going to go on for a long time. There are a lot of tunnels down there, and if their goal is really to eliminate the tunnels, that, supply, yes, they supply arms to Hamas, but they supply milk and baby formula to the people of Gaza, too. If that's their goal, then this one's going to go on for a long time. And just the broader context, the collapse of Iraq, the re-strengthening of the Taliban in Afghanistan, and most of all the rise of the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. It's deeply depressing.
Yeah, I mean, you started just with the Middle East. You said we could be on the edge of a cataclysm. I mean, and that's saying something when you're talking about the Middle East. You say a set of crises coming to a head all at once that could well plunge the world into war and chaos for some time to come. And, I was saying, I keep quoting this person on my Twitter feed, said, I'm 62, this has been breaking news my whole life. But, so you say we've long since learned to live with more or less permanent crisis in the larger Middle East. But it's just you go down not just the Israeli-Palestine, obviously, situations, disaster. Iran's a disaster. Syria, not usually the unspeakable disaster it is now, but never good. Lebanon, always on the edge of and sometimes past the edge of calamity. Too complicated for people to figure out. Iraq, you just mentioned with ISIS. But you say we take note of it, but that tiny percentage of Americans who bother to care in the first place, and we mourn it for a moment or two, and then we let it all wash away. But you go on to talk about why it's different. You say, am I the only one to who things right now seem different, meaning worse?
Yeah, and it really does. And it's just not too hard. As I say at the top of the column, they teach you in journalism not to over-dramatize, but this feels like a time when we shouldn't under-dramatize. Yeah.
Well, I love how you put the Israel-Hamas war feels different. You said neither turtle nor scorpion even pretending anymore about seeking peace. I mean, I think that's the thing Chris and I have been saying, that you hear the same arguments on both sides so many times, and, now it just seems like we're saying, as you're sort of indicating, now they're saying, oh, it's John Kerry's fault. It's like, really? After,
right.
Because he's trying to bring in other people that might be seen to one side as too much of a, favoring one side or the other. I mean, what do you do? I mean, what the heck can we do about the Middle East?
Boy, I don't know. There's not a whole lot the United States can do. I mean, Kerry's trying, but diplomacy, if two sides are locked into the places where Israel and Hamas are, diplomacy is not going to do that much. I mean, I talk later on in the column, in the broader scheme of things, I mean, we really should be vastly increasing the amount of money that we spend on programs to try and prop up democratic institutions and try to advance equality and equal rights for women and try to advance a free press, and all these programs exist, and no American ever hears of them, and it doesn't look, if you just glance at the headlines, like they make any difference. But if you burrow in and see what these programs do, and a lot of dedicated people over in these hot spots trying to carry these things out, they do make some difference on the ground. It makes some difference on the ground, and we could be doing a lot more of it.
And as you say, though, yeah, I'm talking foreign aid. The taxpayers loathe it, but they're also contemptibly ignorant about it. In most polls, people ask what percentage of the budget the U.S. Spends on foreign aid. They say 25. The truth is 1%, actually less than 1%. And boy, this is going to play out in the next presidential election because, interestingly, on the Republican side, if it's Rand Paul, he's talking about total isolationism in a way, right?
Yeah, he is, and we'll see. Obviously the Republican establishment is going to try to block him, and we'll see if they can succeed at that. On the Democratic side, if it is Hillary Clinton, that'll be interesting to watch what she has to say about these topics, because she's a little more hawkish than Obama. I don't think dramatically more hawkish than Obama, but I think she is a little to somewhat more hawkish. So it'll be interesting to see what she says. But right now, from 2012 to now, the United States budget for these programs, these aid programs, the kind of things that I'm talking about that could help, that could help the small d Democrats in the region, we've retrenched, we've cut back. I guess a lot of that has to do with pulling operations out of Iraq, but why does that mean we have to spend less? Just spend it somewhere else. Well, God knows. There's places that need it.
Yeah, and you talk about, a lot of this, you talk about the Taliban making gains and fast in Afghanistan, and then you throw Putin in there. You say it's all way beyond the usual. This part I love. You said the column isn't chiefly about whom to blame. I will say that obviously I blame Bush and Cheney more than I do Obama. The Iraq War, among its other shattering emanations, unleashed the Islamic State and ISIS, as you were talking about. The Bush administration's disastrous, hey, let's have elections in Gaza, oops, policy helped create the tragic death spiral there. You can go on and on. That's not the point today. Obama has to take the blame here, too. And then you go on to talk about foreign aid, which, and again, that's the other part of the Rand Paul Tea Party thing, right? It's spend less, spend less, spend less in every area, including foreign aid, right?
Yeah, and these State Department budget cuts have been no doubt fueled by demands from the House of Representatives to just spend less on these foreigners.
Right. Well, you say I'll take Obama's quasi-Socratic do no extra harm doctrine over the neocons make huge omelet break millions of eggs worldview. But I guess your larger point is the U.S. And you make the larger point. It's not one person, but as a country, you feel we can do better than this.
Yeah, we have to be able to find a way to have some kind of consensus around the idea that what happens in the rest of the world affects us. It matters. We should be trying to influence it in positive ways, and that doing so is the responsibility of not just the President of the United States, whoever it happens to be, but of both major political parties, of all of the elites in this country, corporate elites, civic elites, everybody. There just has to be.
Right, you say across society, right, not just in politics, who care about the idea the U.S. has long-term interests in the world that don't boil down to profit or naked self-interest, but are bound up in the ideals we purport to stand for.
We've done a lot of bad things in the world over the years, and everybody knows them, Iran and Vietnam, and by Iran I mean the coup in '53, and Vietnam and a lot of other things. But we've done plenty of good, too, if you look back from the Marshall Plan forward.
Right.
And there have been times when the United States has really helped progress in the world, and this is one of those times that we really need our society.
But that's how you conclude, Michael, that this was once a country where, for all its ills and all the bad it did, we could occasionally muster consensus, a word which you just don't hear anymore. You say we can't now, and we in the world will pay for this failure in ways we can't today comprehend. Isn't that part of it, that it feels like there has ceased to be sort of one America that has some of these ideals that you talk about in here, that stands together as one nation and said this is what we believe in, because we can't. It seems like we as Americans can't agree on anything.
Yeah, and that's the saddest thing. Well, no, there should be dissent, of course, in the political realm. There should be dissent, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be, but there should be resolve. You know, I mean, there was dissent during World War I, and even during World War II. You know, Robert Taft didn't really want to go into that war, but you know, and others, but at the same time that there was dissent, there was a degree of resolve after we had those debates.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's just I get a lot of your points in there, but you say, like, you know, even the president knows no matter what he does, he's not going to be able to get consensus on anything from the other side, even when it involves America's security or anything, right?
And it makes the rest of the world not take us very seriously.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
They don't have to listen. We don't have to listen to the United States. Obama doesn't have any power. He's not going to get anything through Congress. You know, they're divided. They can't even handle their own problems. Look at their border down there. Why should we listen to them?
Right. Well, I mean, the only good news for America's image in the world is the Sarah Palin TV channel has launched last night, as you're probably aware.
I don't know if that'll fix everything, but, you know.
Have you paid your money yet? Have you paid?
There's a lot of free stuff on there you can look at. It's kind of horrifying.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the free. You know, I'll dip my toe in the free water first.
It's for those apparently people that think Sarah Palin does not have an opportunity to speak quite enough.
Right. I guess I'm not one of those.
Somehow I did not think you would be. All right, Michael, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Great, thanks.
All right, thanks, brother.
Joe Paulson tweeted, "Who is this sane, serious-sounding fella? Is he on the right show?"
He stumbled onto here.
Yeah.
All right. 18 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. All.com. Okay. 22 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number. Toll free from anywhere. Richard in Chicago, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Stephanie.
Hello.
Thanks. I just wanted to call in quickly about the gentleman that was on before. He said it's not diplomacy doesn't work, and then most Americans don't know what we spend, and he quoted.
No, he didn't say diplomacy doesn't work. He said it does not appear to be doing much right now in the Middle East, and you would have to agree, wouldn't you?
Fair enough. I agree. I agree with that. It's not working. But the point that the linking point is, he said that the dollars that we spend are X amount or X percentage of our.
We spend less than 1% of our budget on foreign aid, is what he was saying.
Yeah. So what percentage of that goes to the Middle East? I mean, he categorized it as foreign aid, but not specifically to the Middle East, because he said, you know, the diplomacy doesn't seem to be working. But
what he's saying is most Americans think we spend 25% of our budget on foreign aid. We don't. We spend less than 1%.
Because most Americans don't take the time to do the research.
Right.
I just think that he made an excellent point about the fact that the diplomacy is not, or it doesn't seem to be working. My point is, what's the dollar amount that we should spend, or what does anyone set?
He argues more. He argues, but we should be spending 5 times what we're spending.
But what more? What do you think? What do you think the more should be?
I don't know. I mean, he was talking. There's all kinds of different programs that obviously promote America's ideals in the world. You know, and I think he also was contrasting it with the way the Bush-Cheney administration promoted America's quote unquote ideals in the world. You know, at the
which was abysmal.
At the barrel of a gun, right?
Exactly. Well, no, I think he really made some great points. I just wanted to call in and comment on what would be the more number.
I don't know. He didn't obviously go into more specifics. He was making a larger point about just American ideals and how we used to have some that involved not just war. Steph and Madison, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Steph.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
I've been a full-time caretaker of my mom that has Alzheimer's, and it's a bitch. And since the whole world is exploding, honey, can I have a little Joanne Worley just to...
I think it is our happy place.
My day, baby.
See? Better.
Yeah.
Better now.
And, you know, and the guy that wants some numbers, why don't you go to people like, you know, Paul Krugman? He'd probably have some valid numbers on something like that.
Yeah.
You know, for God's sakes, there are certain people you go to for facts, and that's about it, you know?
Right. Yeah. You can get your facts and your fart jokes here, as you know.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yeah, I get my facts with a slide whistle, and that's how I like it.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. All right. I am America's optometrist. Better or worse now? Better or worse after Joy and Worley? Better?
Oh.
Just saying, right? Better.
Always better. Always better after
Who can
Joy
say
and Worley.
why? Who can say why?
I can tell you why, because
You know,
she's so
my
full of joy.
Richard Cheese is also my happy place. You still have that? No?
Yes.
Okay.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the part of their life. It's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge.
Hey.
I know you want it. The thing that makes me what the guys go crazy for. They lose their minds the way I whine. I think it's time. La 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 la. Warm it up. La 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 la. The boys are waiting. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Warm it up. La 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 la.
Okay. See? Better? Better now, America?
Better.
Better or worse? Better.
Better.
Okay. Thank you. All right. You know what else makes it better?
What?
Sarah Palin drunk video.
Oh, God.
Okay. On SarahPalinChannel.com, just so you don't have to do it, it says one of the things you can click on, we're hotly debating behind the scenes in the Mile High City. And I would give anything to see what happened, exactly how much happened. Guess what?
What?
You have to sign up. You got to pay to find out.
Of course you do.
Yeah. We're hotly debating exactly how drunk she was.
How many shots of tequila she did.
Yeah.
It is nice to
decide.
be back in the Mile High City. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Flying in, we're over your snow-capped
things,
hills.
Right.
I think you follow mountains.
Yeah, sorry.
We're from Alaska.
What?
Drunkie. Hey, drunkie.
So gorgeous, yeah. Okay. Step off the plane.
Yeah.
Todd reminds me, we're in Colorado. Don't inhale.
That's great.
So the president was here last week too, huh? He was getting his Rocky Mountain High on. Busy week for him.
Was she tethered to the floor?
From one scandal, another scandal. He had some vertigo.
Woo!
The Middle East exploding in chaos.
Right, his
time in our open border crisis. No time to visit the border, but time to shoot some pool. Wet his whistle.
What is whistle?
Being real big for those icky photo ops that he just really
with
hates.
fat cats.
And he raked in big bucks at big parties with fat cats.
Party.
His term, not my term.
Right.
This in a border state, he was. The president so disparages these cats in public, but in private, there's a whole lot of cuddling and purring and tummy tickling with the one who feeds them.
Do you think Todd had to fish her out of a pool of her own sick?
Yeah.
After that, I think so.
By the scruff of her neck.
And what is she, Yoda? In a border state he was. None of the words are in the right order.
No.
It's the also two in addition.
Yeah.
Also two in addition?
Yeah. Oh.
God. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I think some mouthwash.
See? We're hotly debating behind the scenes in the mouth. Yes, so am I, Sarah. What, I got to pay to find out? How many shots it was? Was there Jägermeister? We are very hotly debating what happened behind the scenes in Denver.
No, she's not a Jägermeister girl. She's a Goldschlager girl.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because that tastes like big red gum.
See, we're hotly debating behind the scenes here at the Stephanie Miller Channel. 29 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. Oh, yeah, I knew all the world crises would be solved once Sarah Palin Channel launched. The solution to Putin's aggression, American energy development. There you go. Just the keystone, that's it. And then he'll, solve that problem. Oh, and also, wildlife refuge in Alaska. Oh, and her mom's word of the day is factious. Okay, so there you go. She's a Scrabble aficionado. Her mom's Sally. Okay, let's go to Kevin in Baltimore. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Kev.
Hey, how you doing, Steph?
Hi, go ahead.
Hey, my comment is this, Steph. Before we go into anything about, how the world is exploding and Obama's not getting any help, we have to constantly remind people that this is a group of Republicans that got together the night of his inauguration and basically planned not to do anything. And, as Democrats, I think we need to we need to bring that point home every single time, because right now they're sitting back enjoying everything that's going on in this world.
Did you see?
It seems as though it's coming apart. It seems like every positive thing that this president does, they try to turn it into a negative.
Yeah.
And instead of us getting on, and I'm not talking about you stuff. I love your show. I love Big Eddie, but we still got a lot of punk ass Democrats out there that's scared to come on these shows and tell it like it is.
You know, Kev, I gotta say, I don't know if you saw, for whatever reason, they were playing the clip again of President Obama's speech at the convention 10 years ago, and it does break your heart. You're like, oh my God, he looks so young and so hopeful, and you look at how gray he's gotten and what he's had to deal with, and it just breaks your heart for all of us.
And you would think that even after him dealing with some of the stuff that he's dealing with, I mean, being called out of his name, his family being talked about, everything that this man has been through, you would think that he would eventually break and tell everybody to kiss his ass, but he hasn't.
I would.
You know what I'm saying? I would. To me, I mean, he's such a role model for me. I'm African American, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't think for 1 minute I could even come close to living up to the type of man that he is.
Yeah.
You know, as far as his family, a lot of people in the United States probably couldn't say that.
Yeah.
But the point that I was trying to make is that when we allow Fox News to go on 24 hours and we allow all these other, I don't want to put down any of the other so-called progressive reporters or commentators, but the problem is that we don't really strike back. We don't say how unpatriotic it is what they're doing. Because if that had been the Black Caucus that met the night before George Bush got inaugurated, or the night he got inaugurated, I guarantee you the first thing out of the Republicans' mouths would have been that was treason, they hate this country, and we need to do the same exact thing and show how much they hate this man so much that they're willing to burn down this country. And
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm reading Sarah Palin's stupid website channel. Mm-hmm. Hey, Barack, when you going to tell the Middle East to stop clinging to their guns and religion? Oh, it's funny. It looks like a big joke. What's going on, you sideshow clown? All right. Although I am more like her than President Obama in that, first of all, it's Mr. President, not Hey, Barack, you moron.
I don't care for her.
I don't either. No, I'm more like her in that if I were president, I would.
Drink, cry, and quit.
Yes, exactly. Actually, Sarah Palin. Which is why I should have Steffi TV. I'm going to get on that right after the show. Okay. Catherine in Vista, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show on Caribou Barbie. Hello, Catherine.
Oh, good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
Sarah Palin, stop. Don't talk about her. All she wants is to get her name and her face out in front of you. All these progressive, and including you, love you.
All right.
You just keep bringing her up and talking about her. The only way it's going to go away is if everybody just forgets that she's here.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I suppose. It's hard to ignore because, because the word of the day is factious. Okay, I assumed she misspelled facetious.
No, it's factious.
I assume she's as big a dope as her daughter, but okay, I got it. It's divided. Which Sarah Palin is making the country more divided. So I understand why Scrabble aficionado, what's her mom's name? Somebody.
I don't know.
Okay.
Misty.
Right. No, her name's not Misty. I don't know. Becky in Santa Monica, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello.
Hi there. I don't want to change the subject here, but asking Ms. Palin, why don't you raise money for free speech, the channel, by just having us bid on keeping that tape off?
That's a good idea.
Oh,
We'll pay you to keep it off, because when it comes on my...
Pay me to stop playing Sarah Palin. All right, good. Sold. By the way, the only thing I was interested in is behind the scenes in the Denver speech, because she was clearly...
She had a few shots of Goldschlager.
We got to play the tequila PSA for her later, just by way of... at least this didn't happen. I assume this didn't happen.
Who can say?
The Gawker headline, bartender accidentally sets man on face on fire with flaming shot.
Oh.
Yeah, which I imagine affected his tip somewhat.
Well, sure.
Man in Lithuania learned this month when a bartender who was serving him a flaming Lamborghini.
A flaming Lamborghini?
Yes,
that's a thing?
It's Kahlua and Sambuca. Lit his face on fire while setting the shot aflame. The man was reportedly 100% sober. Oh, that sucks. When the incident occurred.
So there's nothing to deaden the pain?
No.
Great.
As seen in the video above, many of the bartenders carried on their business. Well, I guess this happens every other night.
It's a flaming Lamborghini. What are you going to do?
Guy's face is on fire again. Carries on their business while the bar's patrons help the man put out the fire on his face. Oh, that's nice that the patrons, at least the drunken patrons, are concerned.
It must take a lot.
Hey, am I drunk or is that guy's face on fire?
It must take a lot to have fun in Lithuania.
Guess that's what it takes. Guess that's what it's. You know what? We are liberals. We are helpers.
Yes.
So I will help Sarah Palin. Whatever. I'm going to guess it was tequila that was behind the Denver speech, but I. All right, just trying to help.
Oh, by the way, Neil on Twitter says, "I'm already saving $10 a month with thanks to Sarah Palin. She's like Geico."
The lizard are smarter.
Yeah.
Hello, Fred in Chicago. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Fred.
Hey, hi. How you doing?
Hi.
When they talk about Obama this and Obama that and Obama's foreign policy, does it ever occur to them that maybe he might just be consulting with other people in Washington, like the CIA or the Joint Chiefs of Staff? Does that occur to the right?
No. No.
No.
Okay, take care.
All right. Oh no, you take care. All right. He was just dropping a. Wow. Topless Texans spar with open carry activists. Boobs for peace.
I saw this.
Wow.
And Dana Loesch is involved.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
In what way?
Oh, she called them saggy, teated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So her usual level of
Exactly.
source. Okay. Two topless women verbally sparred with the open carry advocacy group over gun rights in downtown Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Come and take it, Texas. The open carry, get it, do it, take it.
Get it.
The Open Carry group posted 2 videos of the tense exchange on its Facebook page, captioning one gun group. They captioned it, "Gun group trolled by skanky topless libtards."
Nice.
During the exchange, the topless woman said they believe the Open Carry demonstrators set out to scare people with their guns and shouted "boobs for peace." One of them also carried a sign reading, "You realize that everyone thinks you're overcompensating for your teeny tiny gun, right?" The members of Come and Get It Texas repeatedly asked the 2 women if they were being paid to demonstrate against their group. At one point, a man in the group can be heard saying, "Touch me and I'm going to stick $1 in your shorts." Oh, that's a good one. All right. God, America. Yeah. Yeah. Open carry men. Yeah. Do it. All right.
Going down to Starbucks after I sleep to get a fix of the latte caffeine. To find that I was behind, you see, a guy holding on an M16. 'Twas then when the open carry man came slinging guns inside. Then when the open carry man came slinging guns inside. Open carry, it's come. Here comes the roly-poly man, he's slinging lots of guns. Roly-poly, roly-poly,
wow, I just have to cover this because it's in the same stack.
All right.
Because we just fight, because we're America.
Yeah.
We just fight about everything.
Sure.
Ice cream shop hit with scary anti-abortion harassment.
What? Why?
Jody Ostrowski, who runs an ice cream shop called What's the Scoop? Good name. In Portland, Oregon, said she did not expect to wade into culture wars. That's what happened. She agreed to do a fundraiser with Planned Parenthood. Oh, that's when someone pulled the fire alarm in Philadelphia, Sexy Liberal, because we were giving funds to Planned Parenthood. Yeah. After right-wing groups caught wind of the fact that What's the Scoop dedicated an ice cream flavor to the Women's Health Organization, the nasty comments started pouring in. They called the new flavor Rose City Revolution for Planned Parenthood fundraiser, which was sold for a 3-hour window last week with 10% of the proceeds going to Planned Parenthood. The Facebook page was soon inundated with criticism, including, murdered baby flavor. Okay. Oh, we just, you know what? We just cannot get along. Rodney King, we cannot.
We can't.
Sorry. 46 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. Laura Ingraham thinking of running for office. Oh, no. I want to be a congressman. Okay.
Great. Have to hear those stump speeches.
That'd be awesome. 51 minutes after the hour. Someone to make Sarah Palin's tone of the voice sound soothing.
Great.
1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Let's go to Cheryl in Rockford. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Steph, how you doing?
Good, go ahead.
You guys were talking about an hour and a half ago about Mitt Romney's vacation with his grandkids. Yes. Oh, my God, all I kept thinking about was straight from Airplane. Remember the guy, the main guy, was talking about the breakup of his girlfriend, and the old lady hung herself?
Yes.
And the other one,
yes.
And then put gasoline. All I could see is those grandkids doing, like cocaine on the hiking trail, hidden behind a bush to get away from Grandpa. I mean,
please stop with the commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, honey. Oh, we endured that with the guy that owns the show. He's trying to kill me for the electric shows. Remember early on, we did a remote somewhere back east?
Yep.
Remember the car trip?
Yep.
That was, I can remember. Yes. Okay, you may find it interesting that this was built in 1847, and also...
I wasn't on that car trip. Thank God.
Jim was. He'll tell you about it.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Next week. Okay. Gary in Chicago, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Gary.
Hi. I just wanted to say, I hope Mr. and Mrs. Palin sue you for libel and slander.
Okay.
And I hope that when she takes over the country, the Second American Revolution, I hope they go after you first and hang you.
Hang me.
And hang you from a tree.
For what?
For what you've been saying that she was a alcoholic drunk.
I didn't say she was an alcoholic drunk. I said she appeared to be drunk in Denver.
She wasn't drunk. Come on.
How do you know?
That's ridiculous.
How do you know?
That's ridiculous. She's a good, decent person, just like
who happens to maybe drink.
I hope Sarah Palin's family and her, I hope she sues you for slander and libel.
Slander? What did I say that was incorrect?
She was drunk.
She appeared to be drunk. I would know.
That's slander and libel.
A lot of people go online. A lot of people are saying she appeared to be drunk.
Drinking alcohol is legal.
To lead the American Revolution, the Second American Revolution, against Barack Hussein Obama.
Hussein Obama.
Settle
down, Captain Happy.
Put to death. You'll be put to death.
I'll be put to death? Hung from a tree. Wow.
All you liberals are going to be put to death.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks.
So then we'll be left with a conservative paradise like Somalia.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever.
There's no regulations.
No regulations at all in Somalia. People are free to do whatever they want, and they kill each other.
You think Sarah Palin's going to take over the country in a second American Revolution? You mean like...
Yes, we're going to have a second American Revolution. The Tea Party is going to overthrow the government, overthrow
the government?
Barack Obama.
If they haven't done it by now, they're probably not going to get around to it.
We need a regulator valve. Can Joe the plumber help us?
He's going to suspend all elections in 2016. Obama's going to suspend all elections in 2016.
What is your proof of this?
So he can stay in office.
What is your proof?
And then, that's what he's going to do. That's what he's.
Because you say so.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, that makes total sense.
What happens if he doesn't do that?
Just wait. Okay. When Sarah Palin becomes the next president of the United States by overthrowing Barack.
So it won't actually be an election. It will be a violent overthrow. It will be a revolution. Will there be an actual election or?
That sounds seditious to me, sir.
Hello?
Oh.
He's a little scant on the details.
Yeah, so he's advocating sedition. That's neat.
What will I care? I will be apparently hanging.
From a tree.
From a tree. Okay. Wow.
So there's that.
So that just happened. I seem to be very angry.
He has some issues.
He seems to have some issues. I wanted more of the details. Will there be an actual election? Will it just be a violent overthrow and Sarah Palin will be...
installed.
Right.
Sounded like he needed a hug.
Yeah, I think so. We need to hug it out, bitch. I think I'd call back if I were you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
bless his heart.
Okay. Actually, you know what? In my head, I was silently thinking through some of the details of his whole plan there. Okay. Hey, you know who will probably be vice president? Billy in Texas.
Oh,
hey, Billy in Texas.
Well, that guy is obviously distraught, but be that as it may, I can see how he can...
Kind of an understatement there, Billy.
Because...
So you don't think we should have a violent overthrow whereby I end up hanging from a tree? You don't think that's...
Stephanie, you and your boys over there are cowards.
Oh, okay.
You will not have a conversation...
Okay.
With a rational concern.
So that was I tried to have a conversation. He hung up before I got the details.
Billy, I'd like to see you call me a coward to my face.
I'll call call you a coward to your face any time.
Okay.
All right. Don't wear that Renaissance Fair outfit. Cause
please don't.
Ridiculous.
You won't have your positions on these issues that we're talking about are so ludicrous. You don't have the courage of your convictions to even have a discussion about them.
About whether there's going to be a violent overthrow after Obama suspends elections in 2016?
I'm talking about Barack Obama. He has switched around the way the presidents or the executive.
Is bull.
Okay, you know what? The fact
that you think you can say that on the radio.
Let's permanently ban Billy now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right. Okay. But you know what's weird? He seemed like reasonable compared to the guy that called right before him.
Yeah.
That's what that guy's purpose was.
How many S-bombs are we going to get this week?
I don't know.
That's like the third time I've dived underneath the desk.
I know it, and not for the reasons you like to. Okay, a judge ruled against the Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, on Monday. In his attempt to block the sale of the Los Angeles Clippers. His further thoughts on his wife, by the way. Last time she was a pig. This time, her lawyer said pure and simple, insidious scheme to strip Donald Sterling of his status as co-trustee. Her hands are not unclean. They're filthy, filthy.
Filthy hands.
Lord. All right, you know what? I need to parse through that last guy's plan for whatever's going to happen.
Violent overthrow. You're hanging from the tree.
Okay. All right. We will see you tomorrow. Carlos sells Rocky Coffee with Carlos on the Stephanie Miller Show.